Hello everyone, Namaste. This is Ashwini. I'm the growth engineer at CustomFit.ai. CustomFit.ai is a platform where you can understand about the visitor, your website visitor, in detail, and you can hyper personalize your web pages and number of web pages to convert your website visitors to quality leads. So, I again welcome you all to another episode of GrowthFit interview series. Today, it's a kind of personalization to personalization talk. Our guest today she's Bethany she's co-founder and CEO of SendSpark, and they are kind of a video platform where you can generate personalized videos, and she would be the maybe right person to let us know about SendSpark in detail. But on this note, to start with the session, I would like to welcome her, and thank you so much, Bethany, for joining us in the session.
Well, thanks so much. I'm happy to be here.
Thanks. So, I would like to start with your journey, Bethany. What was the first feeling when you became a founder?
Yeah. It's an interesting question, the feeling. I think that when we started, like my co-founder and I had talked about different ideas and like types of companies we could start for a while. But it was really cool when we started SendSpark, we were solving our own problem and we knew that we were building something that was like very important for us and would be for other people. So I think that like, and you start, you just kind of like see all the stars and the potential. And yeah, it was really liberating to kind of leave our jobs and go full time on building something.
Wow. And we would like to know about your company, like SendSpark, what kind of problems you solve, and how you are helping your customers.
Yeah. So our goal is to build the best way to connect with customers online. And our platform right now is very centered around video. So you can use SendSpark to create video messages or video emails and then send them out to potential or existing customers through any of your usual channels. Like you can send it right off in Gmail, LinkedIn, Intercom, HubSpot, wherever you're already talking to people. And then you can also request videos back from customers. So if you want to see what's going on, like from their point of view, and help like understand an issue or get a customer testimonial, then you can request video messages from them. So it's very like two-way conversational video. And as the whole world is moving remote, like it's just the new way to communicate.
And these videos, I guess, it increases the engagement between two personas, like to whomsoever you are sending an email. I think video would make a greater engagement than text message, right? I think that's the thing you are working on.
Exactly. Like one is it's more engaging because it's moving. It's also way more human, right? Like when was the last time that you've like felt really connected to someone when you've never seen their face before? Like if you're just seeing text, I'm not saying text doesn't have its place. Like of course it does,
Yes.
but if you're limited to text, like you're never going to have that real personal authentic connection. And then also if you're selling like software, it's really important to show things. Like you want to show how successful someone can be with your product or what it looks like or how they can do a certain thing if they're just getting started. So, the visual component is super important, depending on what you're saying.
That adds a personal touch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I went through your website and it says that it personalized at scale, and the future of business is personal. So how do you really humanize your brand, adding that personal touch?
Yeah. So the key thing is that you can create videos really, really quickly as opposed to if you're doing a Zoom meeting or something that's going to take an hour, you just don't have that reach. So with SendSpark, you're able to create these like short personal videos and then send them out all throughout the customer experience and just add a human touch. Like someone signs up for your product, you can send a video. they, upgrade their account, you can send it. They have a question or they're really frustrated, you can add that personal touch. So it's all these micro ways that really add up to being a more human brand overall.
That's really interesting. So on our side, we are also trying to give that personal touch. So we deal into websites. So websites where whenever someone comes and visit your website,
Mm-hmm.
so there, once they land onto your website, they from there itself they can understand they can feel that someone is talking to you. So a marketer who is sitting behind the bench, they can create some experiences, hyper personalized experiences. They know what kind of segment they are into, or what kind of visitors, their name, or not just the name, but the whole segment they belong to. So
Yeah.
so we create some personalized experiences to create that engagement, which is really important nowadays, I feel.
Yeah, I see how that's so important because a lot of times people say personalization, but really they mean just like use the name or like company name, like dear first name as a job title at company, blah blah blah, and they give their pitch. And it's like that's not personalization. Personalization is when you know something about the other person and you're able to make really relevant content to them. And I think like the more you're doing this with like the segmenting and able to show really custom messages, and that's what we're trying to empower with video too, is like we don't just want you to like send the same pitch to everyone. It's like no, actually personalize the experience quickly and easily, but make it actually valuable. And I think that's the future. And that's what we're able to do with technology that we couldn't have done 10 years ago.
Yes, that's the thing we believe in. Like, when if we actually believe in this thing that every visitor is different. If someone is coming from geography from some US side, so they should get the reviews from on the website from that side of geography. So if someone is from edtech sector, and they have this huge amount of traffic from all over the world, like White Hat Junior and number of companies. So they have reviews from any kind of geographical areas. So just think like someone is sitting in India, and they can see the whole website differently, and someone is sitting in US, they are seeing a different website.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. Uh, Coming to our next question, I would like to shift a little bit to your how did you acquire your first five customers? Because that is where most of the startups struggle, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely hard to get your first few because when you get your later few, you're often looking for people who resemble your first few. So actually that made it very important to us that we picked our first customers wisely and knowing, hey, we can build anything. Like, who are the companies that we really want to be building for? So we looked locally. Like, we started the company based in San Antonio, where my co-founder still is, San Antonio, Texas. And so we really just went into people's offices and told them, like, hey, we're trying to help you connect with your customers with video. Is this something that'd be helpful to you? And anyone that gave us like the lightest bit of like a maybe, then we talked to them a lot more and tried to learn more about their process, and we just went from there, and started really small and really like, I mean, we were literally in their office, kind of small, they couldn't shove us away. But yeah, I think that like people always talk about doing the things that don't scale, and I think especially when you're starting out, like you need to be really picky about who your first few customers are, and know that they're going to be the baseline for who you have forever.
I think more than achievement, what's really you enjoy is your journey to get to that goal, to reach to that goal.
Mm.
So
Sorry, what did
yes,
you say?
yes. Sorry, I said like more than achievement, what is really interesting is your journey to achieve that goal.
Yeah.
So how you what kind of things you do, and what kind of struggle, maybe struggle is a different word, but yeah, that journey is really important to get to that goal point.
D- Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I think that like, even as we talk about achievement, it's all just a bunch of smaller steps that are helping you get to the
Yes,
next
yes.
step.
And we are talking about customers, right? So how do you really help your customers to nurture their needs?
Um, I mean, it's really different depending on like what they're trying to do. Like we're trying to give people a better way to communicate, but then that kind of poses the question of what are you trying to communicate and why? Um, so generally, like SendSpark is really integrated within the CRM of like what's kind of the milestone you're trying to help your customers get to. Do they sign up and now you're trying to get them to like start using the product as part of a free plan? Or maybe they filled out a lead generation form on your website and now you're trying to get that first conversation. So we're always, trying to help people get to that next step, but it's so different depending on the different type of business. Some people have like a very fast sales cycle where people are signing up. It's very product led. They sign up, they just want to use it. And everything they're doing with SendSpark is about showing them how to use the platform and be successful. While others are more like enterprise and slow, and it's more about building a long-term relationship, showing potential for maybe, a full year before there's even a purchase. But, at our heart, we're really a communication tool. So what are you trying to communicate? And we can help you get that across more effectively. But it's super versatile based on your needs.
I can totally relate, Bethany. Like in our case also, to nurture the leads is a different task itself for a marketer also. When visitor visits your website first time, then second time, then third time, we have a different kind of web pages you can show. With their whatever research custom fit sitting there can understand what they have done on the what they have browsed on the website, what exactly that they did in the first visit, second visit, third visit. That's why we show our web pages. So that's why
Mhm.
the leading them to the sign up or clicking on the CTA button.
Interesting. And do
That's
you generally
how.
focus on like before they sign up? Is it mostly like website optimization, or do you allow to personalize, the in-app experience as well?
Before the sign up. Yes.
Okay.
So when they land onto the website and before they sign up or click on the CTA button to get them to uh, that journey.
Yeah. Cool.
And coming to marketing, so how did you build your marketing team?
Hmm?
How did you build your marketing team?
Oh, and the marketing team is pretty much just me and my co-founder right now. So, but we've
Oh,
worked together for years and love marketing. Um, and for
that's
SendSpark,
interesting.
yeah, it's really like we're really taking a product-led approach. So we really look at like product and growth to be one, and it's like what can we do to help get people to use the product, because like when you're using it, people are seeing it, and that's what we kind of expect to be our main marketing channel. And it also helps us align our interests with our customers of like we're just trying to help you use it and send out a lot of videos and be really successful. That's much
I
what we want now.
Sorry to interrupt you. So I'm really curious that I went to your website and there's a huge amount of traffic on your website. So what kind of marketing mix you have to get those amount of people to your website?
Yeah. I mean, it's really product led, right? So we want people to create these videos and send them out. And sometimes people are sending more one-to-one videos, which aren't going to get a ton of traffic. But then we do have some customers who use them for, newsletters or even like online courses. not actually a webinar, but maybe like an invitation to a webinar or a follow-up after it. And those videos will get a lot of traffic, or like, yeah, invites to events. So it's really just about, empowering people to use SendSpark for more use cases, and then they're the ones driving the traffic. But we don't do any paid ads right now. We do write a bit of content, but we've never really focused on it. It's kind of like if someone asks an interesting question, we'll try to write a blog post about it and hope more people have that question. But really, we've just been focusing on product.
Yeah, that's um, yeah. Uh, Coming to the bootstrapping as a co-founder, what do you believe in, like investment or bootstrapping? What is your interest and reason behind it?
Yeah, I mean, I think both strategies are great. It just depends on like your personal goals for the company. In our case, we did choose to go the VC route, and that's for like a couple of reasons. One is I think that there's the potential to be really, really big. Like I can see every company using SendSpark. Everyone has customers, and you need a way to talk to them. But also because we felt like the world was changing so quickly that we wanted to be able to like keep up. When we first started SendSpark and we were telling people, hey, you should send videos to customers, they're like, oh, no one wants to see me on video. Like, that's so unprofessional. I would never use video for work. And that was only like 2.5 years ago. And that sounds ridiculous now that so many people were saying that. So we just saw that the world was moving really fast, and we wanted to be able to really like jumpstart growth and like really build out the product, build out what people needed, and like be there as the world's changing. And so that's kind of what pushed us down that route. I don't know. I mean, I think that maybe if like we hadn't had a global pandemic and things were kind of at the old pace, maybe we would have like taken our time. But that was kind of the main consideration we made. But I have only a ton of respect for bootstrappers and a ton of respect from people who raise both ways. I think are pretty hard and but worthwhile.
Yeah, yeah, that's really interesting to hear from you that someone is believing in both of the investment and bootstrapping, and I do have respect for both of them. So it's really a huge task to take a startup to another level, and that's a different journey at all. So yeah,
Yeah.
I really agree with you. And what about your lead generation sources? What is the major source of lead generation for your company?
Yeah, like I mentioned, we've been focusing on product-led growth. So it's so what we do is we have a free plan, and the free plan has like the SendSpark logo and brand on it. And so, you're able to create and share videos and use the product, but as you send them out, then, they'll say SendSpark. So that's been a big source of lead generation for us. And then of course you can pay just $15 a month to be able to white label that and use your own branding. So that's the way we've really built it out, and is like having that free tier. I think going forward, we'll plan on, we'll build out a growth team and try different channels to grow. But as a small company, you can only really focus on doing so many things so well. So that's where we're focused right now.
And if we are coming to the product, where exactly it belong to, in the sales process, or customer success process, or maybe before that inside sales process, where does it fit into?
Where does what fit into?
SendSpark.
Like, sorry, what were the
Okay.
options?
So regarding this SendSpark, where exactly it fits into, like in the sales process, initial stage, or maybe later stage, or maybe customer success process, where exactly it helps more.
Yeah, I think it has the biggest impact later stage. Like we definitely have people using SendSpark for prospecting, but I think that unless you're doing like account-based marketing and you really like know that your accounts are valuable, like sometimes prospecting is really just a numbers game. And that relationship and the personal touch just don't really matter that much early on. But it becomes really, really important as you're getting to know the person you're talking to more, like especially after the demo, when you're able to send, little micro demos they can share internally, you're able to follow up more personally. I think it even comes back to what we were saying earlier about personalization, where, if you don't know the person, you can't really like personalize that much. Like, yeah, you can
Yeah.
a little bit, but once you really start knowing what matters to them, that's when being able to create a truly personalized experience has the biggest impact. So it's really like later stage sales, customer success, really like onboarding all throughout the customer journey, re-engaging people with new features and updates, and even customer support as people have questions to be able to like send videos back. Then that's where we see the most usage. We'll see a little bit for marketing too. It's just kind of a different use case, more of like sending video emails or updates. It's personal, not in the way that I'm personalizing it for my customer, but more in the way that like the CEO is able to give like, a person-to-person update and be able to send announcements like that. So we'll definitely see, we generally see like the whole growth team using SendSpark. It's just kind of different use cases depending on the person and their job.
Okay. Perfect. And did you have any experience regarding B2C marketing? Like what was that? And how do you differentiate between B2B and B2B? What was your experience as a sense part?
Yeah, my background's B2B marketing. So that's all I know. That's what I've done before, and that's what we're doing now.
Okay, okay. And how do you what are your plans to take SendSpark to next level? Like how will you uh, go to that market and just boom into that market with the marketing and sales team?
Yeah, I mean, the way to do it is by building a great product and a great product that's meant to be shared. So we're just building, we're listening. We have a lot of customers right now. We're listening to what they're saying, and we're just building and kind of to move as fast as we can.
Yeah, it's a different journey and different experience altogether when you launch your new features. As we just launched a new feature with the Slack reports, and we are coming up with a many more. So it's a kind of excitement with your team when you're building your product, or maybe on the later stage, and you're coming up with the new features every week or every month or every twice a week.
For sure. And I'll kind of reiterate, like sometimes people will say like, oh, we grow organically, like it just happens magically. And that's not how we think about it at all. Like we are very strategic about it. But we're trying to really tie our like marketing and our growth into our customer wins and kind of get like a 2-for-1. So we're not like, oh, we'll just, build it and hope they come. Like I'm a marketer. I know it doesn't work like that. But we do know we're not going to be able to like grow without having like that super strong foundation and just like customers absolutely loving it and like screaming it from the rooftops. And so that's really where we're focused on now. But knowing that that's setting the stage for more to come. And that's also what is really fun, like building something that people love.
Yes, I can totally relate that we too believe in the same philosophy as we are also coming with trying to make our product as strong as possible with all the features that all the pain not features but trying to solve all the pain points of marketers
Yeah.
where they can drive the traffic to the website but maybe uh, a step behind for the conversion. So we are helping them out with the conversions by increasing the rate by 50% and 55%.
Wow. That's cool. Yeah, the less friction you can have in the funnel, the better.
And so how do you help your SaaS customers? How do you understand basically from your customers to define their ICPs? What target audience they are looking into, and with their client's client, uh, how do you really tackle the situations where you need to provide high quality solutions to satisfy their customers?
Yeah, I mean, I think that generally by the time they're working with us, they usually have a pretty good idea who their ICPs are. And so usually, like, we're not the ones telling them who their ICPs are. They're coming to us and saying, hey, we're selling to enterprise. We have a long sales cycle. We do pilots. And like, we'll kind of help them get started based on that, which is different than if they're like, hey, we sell to consumers, or we have a super, inexpensive product, but we have a lot of people coming in. We need to automate as much as possible. But we still want to add that personalization where we can. So it just really depends on like them. And we try to be as hands-on as possible. Like I know a lot of times, people would rather just kind of get in the product, use it, have it work. And so we make sure that that experience does exist. But like when we can, we love talking to people and learning more about, hey, how are you looking to do it? Who is your customer? How are you trying to engage them? Where can we add value? But we'll just kind of work with them and go with the flow.
And we have a little bit of time, so I would like to discuss more about some kind of B2B sector. So, and what about a conversion optimization look for? Like, how do you really deal with that when it comes to
How do
deal
we
with the
optimize?
yeah, yeah.
What was the question?
Yeah. So, kind of, what tools do you use for conversion optimization, or are you looking for? Are you into something a strong believer of conversion optimization?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
follow that.
So we use HubSpot for a lot. One of the like advantages is that everything's in one place, like all your data is in one place, all your emails are one place. So we use HubSpot for most things, and we'll run A/B tests on HubSpot. We also use SmartLook. We used to use Full Story, but it was a bit too expensive, and plus we like trying out different startups. So we started using SmartLook, which is really good to get like customer screen recordings, and it's more of that qualitative side where if you want to, you're not going to be running like experiments the same way you might with an A/B test, but you can track users on the funnel or see like, where are people getting lost? What are they literally doing with the recordings? Which is kind of cool. Another like startup that we really like is UserFeed, and they're better for tracking like product, like feature requests. And you can let people like submit their own requests, and you can also log things within chat. So we'll use that to like help prioritize. I'm sure there's a ton. There's so many tools like that we'll try out, but those are kind of the top ones that come to mind.
Uh, Coming to the last note, Bethany, like I would like to summarize. I understood that you are the CEO and co-founder who believes strongly in your product and something to some perfect product to build with and help your clients, help your customers. But if you would like to give an advice to any fellow marketers or maybe someone who wants to come up with their startup with a strong product, what would be that one advice you would like to give?
Oh man, there's so much advice and so much of it is like conflicting. Like,
Please.
there's the advice of like, hey, focus on product and stickiness and retention, and then the other advice of like, no, just put it out there and see what people think. And I mean, I think that a lot of times like there's already so much advice out there, and so much of it is good and true. But my advice is like know what your own strengths are and lean into them, and don't let you should do this, you should do that, you should do something else. Other people are doing it this way and it's working great. Let you feel any type of way. I think that you're not going to win if you like build someone else's product or follow someone else's plan. But no matter what your strengths are, if you're a marketer, if you're a developer, if you're a designer, if you're something else, like lean into that and let that be your superpower, and make it work for your business, because you can't, You can't believe everything you hear.
So basically, find out your way with your own strengths and flaws.
Yeah.
So on that last note, I would like to thank you again, Bethany, for joining us today. And it was really great speaking to you with maybe personal touch and personalization talk. Uh, I would like to wrap up the session here today. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us with the GrowthFit interview series. Keep watching us with CustomFit.ai. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thanks so much. Thanks for having me.